Hey, for everybody. I thought I'd share with you. I thought it'd just be kind of cool and looking for your responses also as I post these. But I'd like to share some different albums in my life that kind of influenced me, made an impact on me. These are always kind of cool for musicians to talk about. One of the things I love is growing up, and I'd be on breaks with new guys, new musicians that I hadn't played for, and we start talking about music and things that influences that we grew up. And sometimes we find, we had some albums that were common, or I'd learn from them, like, oh, I never heard that album before, and then I'd go listen to it. So just a brief background here. When I was a kid, my dad played, my mom loved music, my grandpa played music, so music was always around. But I remember as a kid, not so much albums, and I'm talking like 2 or 3 years old here, but some 45s that I remember really liking were Venus by Shocking Blue, Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head by B.J. Thomas, and Light My Fire. I don't know if it was The Doors or Jose Feliciano's version, but as a kid I remember liking those songs. I remember my dad, when he would get his guitar out to change strings or whatever, he'd play that. I'd ask him to play the intro to Venus, and he'd go, and he'd do that. I used to love that when he would do that. So, like I said, as a 2 or 3 year old, 4-year-old, wasn't too many albums for me, but it was a lot of 45s, and my parents bought me this little record player, and it came with little black 45s. They weren't real 45s, but we could play them. And of course, I'm old enough to remember, maybe some of you are out there too, on the back of cereal boxes you could get a 45. You'd cut the back of the cereal box out, and I remember getting a Jackson 5 song that way. But anyway, for today, an album, like one of the first albums that I remember buying myself. Now, of course, the money had to come from my parents, but I was, again, I'm guessing 6, maybe 7 at the most. My mother and I were up at it was like a drugstore up on 23rd Avenue in Moline. I know there's a Shell station there now, and maybe it was a dollar store, and it's closed now. But I don't remember what the name of that drugstore was, but they would have albums there. And at the time, I really liked a song called Give Me Just a Little More Time. I really enjoyed that song. And also, my Uncle Jimmy Bailey, I remember as a kid at this time, when I would see him, there was a song popular by Joe Tex called I Gotcha. And whenever I would see him, he'd walk in the house or something, he'd go, I gotcha, never da-da-da-da-da, however that song went. So anyway, I'm at that drugstore with my mom, and I find this album, Super Bad, and I bought it, and man, I played it out. And I bought it only because it had, I saw Chairman of the Board, Give Me Just a Little More Time, and Joe Tex, I Gotcha. But listen to the tracks that are on here. It starts out Isaac Hayes, theme from Shaft, Staple Singers, Respect Yourself, Frederick Knight, I've Been Lonely So Long, Barbara Mason, Give Me Your Love, Love Unlimited, Walking in the Rain with the One I Love, Joe Simon did Power of Love, Timmy Thomas, Why Can't We Live Together, Frida Payne, Band of Gold was on here, James Brown, Good Foot Part 1, The Presidents, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 Years of Love. Oh, I used to like Free Movement, I Found Somewhat of My Own, Main Ingredient, Everybody Plays the Fool, and Jerry Butler, One Night Affair. So most of those songs I wasn't familiar with at the time, as a 6-year-old, but I came to like him, and I would play this album over and over and over again. Like I said, started out with Chairman of the Board and Joe Tex, but I'd put on side 1, and I'd hear that beginning to Shaft, or whatever. Learned that Timmy Thomas. I think Shaft went like something like that, and then the little part, Of course, I don't have a wah pedal here or anything plugged in to do that. But you know, that was the Timmy Thomas, something like that. But anyway, that's an early album that influenced my life, made an impact on me. Probably, who knows, might have played an impact for all the R&B stuff that I ended up growing up liking. Funny thing is, my best friend, when we were getting to know each other, there was another Superbad album that was a different color, and he had that one, and he had got that as a kid also. And so who knew? You know, we didn't know each other at the time, but we were being influenced by this music. So hey, thanks for watching. Hope you watch it next time when I share another album that influenced my life.